Hey guys, Bryan Karp, Sales Giant here, and this is week 11, right? 1-1 of the Karp Chronicles, where I dive into exactly what is going on in my personal portfolio, in my real estate business, and everything to do Karp family, Karp acquisitions all across Long Island and Tennessee, and what's going on in the real estate world. If you like this content, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, share this with someone. Really means the world to us, and that motivates me to keep giving you guys new, fresh content. So, great week. I actually, was my birthday week. I actually turned 42. And it's funny because I said to Jessica and friends of ours that we went away with for 2 nights just to catch up and relax and hang out, I said I wouldn't go back to any other age. And everyone kind of disagreed with me a little bit. They're like, well, I'd go back to myself in my 30s or 20s. And because if you went back to those ages, you would also have to go back to what you were doing at that time. You would also have to go back to your financial position at that time. Like, I couldn't be any happier where I currently am, right? Of course, I'm an ex-athlete, so my back hurts and my shoulders hurt and, my body's beat up from years and decades of going crazy in the health and fitness space and playing Division I football. But I wouldn't go back to anything. And then people are like, oh, I'd go back to when the kids were younger. No, like Brody and Brock are at such an amazing age right now. I could share so many different things with them. Brody works out with me every morning to do abs, and Brock, I just got back from coaching his basketball team today, which is fabulous to watch him starting to really rebound and love the game, and now we're walking into lacrosse season. So I wouldn't go back to anything. Yes, being 42, it just means you're getting closer to the end of your life one day, right? We all have to understand that, right? Potentially as a male, it could be midlife, when you're in your 40s, even though I do plan to live to 100. But I wouldn't go back to any other age. Let's dive into some fun and exciting real estate things. So I just launched a property this week. Very amazing house. The house that was currently there actually burned down 7 years ago. It might even be more. It might have been more like 8 or 9 years ago the house burned down, but I think it just got finished 7 years ago. I was actually the listing agent. I was selling it, and it was on News 12, and my sign was in front. I couldn't find the video because it would be amazing content, but the house burnt down, so they built a brand new house. Just put on the market for $475, rocket fuel. So much activity, so many offers, and it's an amazing house. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch with a full basement. They even have the CO for the basement. So very exciting about that. And I think I told you guys last time, just put up an amazing house in Rocky Point with a converted garage as an apartment with a dormer on top for the bedroom. And I have an amazing house in 3 Village Schools in East Setauket, which open house was just insane, 20 people, and they just redid the kitchen and bathroom. So it's so nice when you walk into a house, this one in Setauket 750, when you walk into a house that at least some of the major stuff is completed. Last week, I actually closed another new construction. So I had this amazing high ranch, and it was cool. What my builder did is he bought it from another buddy of mine who's a builder and got the land approved, and he had so many projects going on, he didn't want to build it. So this gentleman took it and expanded a little bit. I think he blew it out like 300 square feet. So like you walked in, it had this, it didn't feel like a high ranch. It had a grand 2-story entry. And what was so cool about it was it actually had a basement. I just need a drink. And it's rare for a high ranch to have a full basement. Now, the gentleman buying it, I think, bought it as a rental. So I think he's going to try to build an apartment in the basement and have 1, 2, 3. Technically, it is not a legal 3-family. It's also not a legal 2-family. Will he get away with it? I guess we'll see. But I guess at least as a landlord, it's going to be brand new. So he'll have nothing else to worry about. I had a big fundraising meeting on Wednesday for my Tennessee apartment syndication, which I've told you guys about countless times. So that was really exciting. I had 2 or 3 people who, after the meeting, pulled me inside and said, "Bryan, I'm in." So really excited to have a new introduction to someone who's going to come in 100%. He already sent me his commitment for it. And then I have 2 or 3 other people who told me, but I always like to give them a few days, a week to just, mull it over and tell me exactly what they're coming in at. So that was very successful. And it looks like I'm probably fully funded for my 36 unit Troy apartments. Now, don't tell anyone. And the funny thing is, only a few hundred people watch this, so it's really not anyone. And a lot of times you guys watch it months and weeks after, but don't tell anyone. But I am in my due diligence phase on another 56 units. It's actually got 44 units online and another 12 offline. This one is unreal. I'm not going to bring it out to everyone yet because I want to make sure that my Troy apartments is fully funded, and I don't want to have 2 different properties competing, even though they're both great investments and we only underwrite things that we think we could return a 17 plus. And I love Troy. I love the Troy apartments because it's next to my other 51 unit. So this one's a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit harder for my property management company to potentially manage this one because it is 2 hours from them, but it's in Dixon, and Dixon is up and coming, secondary market, 50 minutes from Nashville. People will commute from Nashville. And so this one I'm super psyched about. I actually have to follow up. I'm going to write it down because this one has a major water issue. I don't want to say major water issue, but there's 12 units that are offline. I'm just going to write this down, so bear with me. There's 12 units that are offline, and they're offline because they've got flooded. So H2O Dixon, as a reminder. I always have crazy sticky pads everywhere because things come to me and I always like to write it down. I don't want to forget about it. So this one was really cool because it's got a dozen units that are offline. So super value add. Rents, I think we believe are a little bit below market rent. There's a few renovated units that are getting higher rents. So we know we could push the rents there. Also, Dixon, I think, is just going to blow up. I think that Tennessee is in its second inning, and Dixon will absolutely see huge appreciation by the 4th or 5th inning. So really excited about that. But we brought in an engineering firm to look at the water situation and see what we can do to divert it. Could be $250,000, could be $100,000. I don't know. But if we could bring those 12 units back online, then I'm paying for the 44. And even if I had to invest $50,000 per unit or $30,000 per unit to get them online, probably more like 50 because they're gutted to the studs. That would be huge because then I would own a 56 unit in Dixon, which would be tremendous. I had something else I was going to tell you guys about that. Oh, so we're not going to be able to get traditional financing on it. So for the other projects that I've been buying, we've been doing Freddie Mac loans on them, 10-year fixed loans. And this one, because of the dozen units that are offline, I might have to get some type of bridge product, like a hard money product, but in the world of multifamily, big multifamily. So we'll see what happens with that. Stay tuned and don't tell anyone, right? Because I want to finish Troy before we get this going. Just joking, doesn't really matter. It's just all exciting stuff. And right now we're doing the inspection on it. So Tuesday, we're going to do an inspection. So we don't know if we're even going to move forward with it, right? We could still potentially back out or renegotiate it, but I love the deal. I also last week closed an amazing house in Stony Brook, which I was excited about. It was someone that I was close friends with. So I sell a ton of real estate and I even sell it for my close friends. So this one was nice. Him and his family moving to Florida. Super jealous because I love Florida. And if Jessica and myself didn't have our rental portfolio here and I didn't have this business that I run every day, that's my passion here, we would totally have looked into Florida. This cold weather is not for us Karps. You guys can't see it, but literally I have a heater next to me. I just love being warm. So jealous of them, wishing them the best. And then another client of mine who, I've known for over a decade, sold his house in Hauppauge, went very well. There was actually, I think I told you guys, a title issue, but it all got worked out and it got closed. So congrats to them. This week, I'm bringing you some fire. Have an amazing house in a very affluent area of Sachem. Going on the market for $875. I sold this house to this gentleman and his amazing wife 7 years ago, and it's appreciated almost $350,000 to $400,000 in 7 years. And it's funny because I remember walking the property with him 7 years ago when he bought it, and he paid a premium at that time. Like 7 years ago, it might have been one of the more expensive houses in that area. And he was like, oh, am I overpaying for it? I'm like, just buy real estate and hold it. And what did he do? He held it. And they're like, Bryan, the values are up, and we're thinking we might want to go to warmer climates. So super excited to bring that to you guys. It's like this house with this dueling double staircases. It's like beautiful. Sorry about all the beeping. It sounds like Brock is going out to do his lacrosse. Brock does 10 minutes of lacrosse every day. What I do with both Brody and Brock is I have 30-day challenges where if they do, Brody, if he does abs 30 days in a row, Brock, if he practices lacrosse or basketball 30 days in a row, I give them little bonuses, and I'll buy them things like that they need anyway. Like Brody, what did I buy him? Brody got money to invest in the syndication. Brody also got, I think, boxing gloves. Brock is saving up for, he already got a lacrosse head. Now he's saving up for another lacrosse pole. I'm all about incentivizing the boys to do positive little actions every day. So very excited to bring the one with the dueling staircase for you guys. Sorry, this is the way my brain works. I'm all over the place. That's just the way it works. And then something else I have scheduled for this upcoming week is, I don't know if you guys knew, but I am Dave Ramsey's Suffolk County ELP. Dave Ramsey is a major radio personality who is all about no debt. And the Karp family is actually all about no debt. We built our entire rental portfolio. Someone call me? Do I have to end this? Okay. We bought our entire rental portfolio with no debt. Now we are going to as Brody says, the second chapter. So we are putting small pieces of debt on some of the properties just to maximize our returns and give us more capital to purchase more real estate. But Dave was super influential for my entire life. You know, no credit card debt, and just taught us how to pay off our house, and just influential. And I've been his ELP for over a decade. So it's really cool because they send me, I don't want to say leads, but they send me introductions to people who are fans of Dave. They want someone who is a steward and someone who is trustworthy. And he's introduced me to so many people. And it's very funny because a client that I met with last week, I'm putting their house on in West Babylon, really cool house, a military family, love that. And they were a Dave referral a decade ago, and now they are going to, they're going to be relocating back to where they came from. So very exciting. I forgot to tell you guys about that one, but it's probably not going to go on for a month because they are waiting for their orders to be transferred. So that's really it. If there's anything you guys want me to ever dive into, let me know. But I'm just going to give you the recap of the week that happened, what's going forward, what I'm working on. Still waiting for the quote for my apartment building that's supposed to be renovated here in New York. I told you guys I got like a crazy $200,000 quote, totally not in the budget that I allocated for. Supposed to have it in my inbox this morning. I'm dying to pull the trigger on it. I gotta get it moving. 3 units are empty. I got one more hopefully leaving at the end of the month. So that's very exciting. And the only other thing that we got going on is, unfortunately, one of our properties has a tenant that hasn't been paying or has been really behind on their payments. We did our best to work with them. We did go to court last week, and the judge made them agree to pay us back, which is great. New York is a very difficult place to be a landlord, and we go above and beyond for our tenants. But at a certain point, you know, we can't fund someone who's unable to pay. So we do our best to work with them, ask them to leave or catch up. So hopefully this person will catch up, but it's just the life of a landlord. And thank God that, you know, we have multiple properties, so it's burdensome, but it's not devastating. That's why in New York it is tough, because people could just stop paying and then you got to go through the courts, and it's not quick. Wishing everyone a great week, and I will talk to you soon.